Every weapon formed against me ends here. Every curse against my family ends here. I speak in the name of the Lord. Every cycle of addiction ends here. Every voice of condemnation ends here. I speak in the name of the Lord. I speak in the name of the Lord. I'm taking back what the enemy stole from me. In the name of Jesus, I'm breaking off every lie that I once believed. One who lives in me has all authority. The one who lives in me has all authority. Every darkness of depression ends here. Every bondage, every sin. Declare it. I speak in the name of the Lord. I speak in the name of the Lord. I'm taking back what the enemy stole from me. In the name of Jesus, I'm breaking off every lie. My words believe the one who lives in me has all authority. The one who lives in me has all authority. I'll take it back. Stole from me. In the name of Jesus, I'm breaking off every lie. Every lie I once believed has all authority. The one who lives in me has all authority. Somebody shout it out. Oh, I'm taking it back. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm taking it back. Somebody just shout that I'm taking it back. You've given me authority to push back the enemy, to fight from the victory. Yeah. It's about time I use it. You've given me authority to push back the enemy, yeah. To fight from the victory. Yeah. Hey! It's about time I use it. You've given me authority. Hey, I'm taking it back. back what the enemy. One who lives in me has all authority. The one who lives in me has all authority. One more time, I'm taking back. Hey! The one. You've given me authority. Come on. To fight from the victory. What? You've given me authority. Yeah. To fight from the. Hey! Hey! It's about time you've given me authority to push back the. To fight from. It's about time you've given me authority to fight from the victory. Yeah. Shout it! It's about time you've given me authority. Thank you, Jesus. Let your glory fill this place. Let your all-consuming fire fill this tabernacle and purify our hearts. Surround us in this place. Want you to breathe new life within us. Send a refreshing love. Purify our hearts. Let your glory fill. Let your glory fill this place. Let your all-consuming fire. Yeah. Yeah. Surround us in this place. Surround us in this place. Breathe new life. Oh, within us, Jesus. Oh, yes. Come on, let's ask for the rain tonight. Let's ask for the rain. Say rain on us. Somebody needs him to breathe. Oh, shower down. Shower down. Send your spirit, Lord. Oh, down, shower down. Send your spirit, Lord. Let your glory fill. Let your all-consuming fire fill. Purify. Surround us in this place. New life within us. Yeah. Come on, let's ask for the rain all over the house tonight. Yeah. Oh, breathe. Shower down. Shower down. Send your spirit, Lord. Yeah. Lord, breathe. Oh, shower down. We need your power. Send your spirit, Lord. Shower down. 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 You're here. You're anointed. We're hungry. Shower down. Shower down. Send your spirit, Lord. Let your glory. Let your consuming fire, Jesus, purify, surround us in this place. Breathe, breathe new life, Jesus. Hey. Come on, just lift that hand. I'm rising like an army, and you're gonna hear the sound. I'm calling the angels down. What the hell was that? What are you, some kind of crazy psycho rapist? Hey, no, no, we never. I swear. I just needed to see if I was right. Are you about the school? The only place to Christ, draw me close to you. me go. I lay it all down. He'll say, you are my no one else will do. No one else can take your place. Now when I'm having help me find my way. Bring me back to you. Thy will be done. Bring me back to you. Alone in me. Because I see you work in us, and I want you to work in me. I seen you work in others, and I want you to work in me. I've seen you working on the Lord, and I want you to work in me. Anybody feel like I feel? I've seen you working, and I want you to work in me. I've seen you heal the sick through others, and I want you to work in me. I've never seen you working, and I want you to work. No one else can take you. Not when I want to feel the warmth of your embrace. Help me find my way. Bring me back to you, yeah. I wanna come back to you, Lord, yeah. Let it be done, Lord. Let it be done in me. Let it be done in me. Because I've seen you work, and I want you to work in me. Say it with me. Say, I see you work in others, and I want you to work in me. Some of you need to close your eyes right now. Talk to the Lord and tell him, I see you, and I want you to work in me. Say it, say it, say it. And I want you to do the same thing. I'm tired of being the man you used to be, Lord. I see you working, and I want you to work in me. Have your way in me, Lord. See you working, I want you to do the same. And lay it all down again. Said it once, but I wanna hear you say, tell me that I'm your friend. Oh, because I see you in us, and I want you to work in me. Look, I got these extra hands or something. Yes, I can. Yes, I have. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. This is my season for grace, for favor. Yeah. This is my season to reap what I have sown. Y'all listen at this. See, I haven't been perfect, but I sure been faithful. See, God's got a purpose, yes, and I know He's able. I've got a seed in the ground that He's blessing. No more stressing. I've got a seed in the ground. Now I'm knowing I can show. Doing pretty good. For grace, for favor. It only works when we all do it. This is my season to do what? To reap what I have sown. Come on, you say, this is my season for grace. For what else? Just listening to the gospel. This is my season to reap what I have sown. Everything is working together for my good. Say it, church. Everything is working. Don't feel good, but it's working for my good. Say it again, y'all. Everything is working together for my good. Sing it again. Everything is working together for my good. I want you to say this tonight, real simple. Say, it's good. It's good. It's good. Say, it's working for my good. It's good. Say, it's good. Say, it's good. Say, it's working. It's good. It's good, y'all. Say, it's good. See, that goes to show you how people don't take time out for themselves. For grace, for favor. I need somebody to prophesy with your body language. You say, what you say? God is leaning in my direction. See, TikTok is not going to let me, if I start talking, it's not going to let me make my little clips with the music in the background. Come on, you ain't no me to say it. You got to say it. Say it. In my direction. This is my season
for grace, for favor.
This is my season. Come on, y'all.
To reap what I have sown.
When you raise your hand and say, I've got a seed in the ground. Come on, open your mouth and say, I've got a seed in the ground.
Now you can play like music on TikTok, but I make small like 90-second videos that I send back over to TikTok. And if you have a recording in the background, and if it's not TikTok approved music, they won't let it play through your video. So the whole goal for me to start this out, we have people who might be in a certain space that might need to hear some stuff to release some attention, you know. So that's what I'm all about. So, and it's not too much I can say for Baltimore City, but it's mainly for people on TikTok that don't know who I am and what I do. This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. Normally I come on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays from 4. I say 4:45, but it's normally 4 until whenever. But I've been trying to stick to my 4:45, at least for my broadcast network. But I have a tendency of talking a lot longer. And I do go on other people's platforms. There's certain people that I don't mind supporting, but I'm just not for a lot of that chaos and confusion that so many people gravitate to. That's not where I'm at. But my nephew, like Mr. Humble, I'll go on his platform. He's not really my nephew. I just call him nephew. My nephew, like Ronversation, I'll go on his platform. Then sometimes from Mr. Humble platform, we'll switch over to Courtney's platform. But these are the type of people that have controversial platforms. But even though they're controversial platforms, when we do talk for the prompt, we try to fix it where people can talk about where they at, what's going on with them. But now, whenever you come on TikTok platforms, right, and you tend to share personal stories, you can become under attack. But now my thing is, whenever I open up my big mouth, I'm going to share my experience, my strengths, and my hopes. And that's in helping people to understand I was there at one point and what I've done to better my life. And you can do the same things if you want to come out of certain situations and stay out of it a day at a time. So if you ever want to sit up here and try to do statistics with me, if you want to do your research with me, and you want to try to compare it to my actual life experience, you're going to lose every time. Okay? Because I'm talking about something and I will bring it down and make it specific, mainly when you want to do statistics and research on how they might put all cities in categories. I'm going to bring it down to Baltimore City. So whatever's happening in Chicago and how Chicago, Detroit, New York, and all of these major cities like Baltimore City, you know, you might read some of the statistics there. You might read where, say, like the unalive rate or the body rate, right, is lowered now, and they might make you think, excuse me, that it's steady rising. Now, in certain places, it could be. But I can only speak on Baltimore City. and for the people that I know in Baltimore City and the work that they're doing to slow a lot of this down. But see, now with that too, we got so many people, and I'm gonna go back to Baltimore City. We got so many people that's running around, and that's why we have mental health care programs out there for them. Mental health programs, because you got a lot of people that's running off a bunch of negative old habit information, and they think it's okay to continue going out and repeating destructive behaviors. They're not looking at the point that sooner or later you're going to get caught. Or sooner or later, let's go back to this person right here. Back in the days when this show was out, Beretta, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. So the thing is, for a lot of our newer people that feel like it's okay to run out there and want to unalive people and take people out, don't forget, if you take a life, if they don't catch you for the next 20, 30 years, they still not going to close that up that fast like that, where they will get you sooner or later. So if you go out there and you do something and you think you're going to get away with it for a real long time, understand they still going to come for you. And it might take years for them to catch you. And because you're running off at your big mouth and you telling people that the crimes that you have committed, you think somebody ain't going to tell on you for that little bit of reward money? Come on. Now you talking to a retired OG right here. Now I done some things in my lifestyle, and I'm gonna tell you, in my life, I said lifestyle. During the old lifestyle, I've done some stuff that I was taught. Never let your right hand know what your left hand doing. The problem is a lot of people want to go do stuff and taking people's lives, and then you want to brag and boast about it like you gave that life and you was able to take that life. Well, then you take it, be prepared to go behind the bars. Don't get upset when they come for you. And then start lying when they show you all of these videos they got of you doing what you did. They got cameras everywhere now. But you don't care. So guess what? Keep in mind today, snitches don't have to get stitches. I said snitches. Snitches don't have to get stitches because these cameras, because of what you're doing, the cameras is going to tell on you. So your behavior, your lifestyle is what's going to tell on you. You can have a camera right in your face. Right in your face. And you can do some destructive behaviors, right? And then turn around and say, oh, that wasn't me. You right there on camera. And a lot of times when they catch people, right, who commit crimes, and they show you the film or the video, you're going to admit to the video so you won't hold up the courts. And then some of y'all going to want to challenge the courts. And you know it's you. You just want to call yourself buying time. Well, the reason why I'm saying that, y'all, because one, I prayed. I didn't know which way God was going to take me. But I'm just saying this as a person that used to live a certain way of life and as a person that been redeemed. I'm going to say from that lifestyle for almost 33 years a day at a time. I don't have to watch over my back like a lot of people do today. If you lived out in the streets or you did stuff in the streets, at one time when you heard somebody running, yeah, you're going to do this and do that. I might turn around and glance and see what's going on. But I'm not in fear of myself today. And I heard some people talking about this the other day, right? About being in the inner city. Now, if you did not grow up in the ghetto, if you don't understand the process of the survival skills in the ghetto, see, a lot of y'all don't understand. It's organizations like Communities United, right? Communities United, what we used to do once a month. I became a board member there too. Was almost there for 2 years. I'm talking about on the board. I still support Communities United if they need me to. I still will, because they are a community activist group, a nonprofit. Number one, we can come in your community. Excuse me, family. I'm drinking my Diet Pepsi. We can come in your community, and it's called harm reduction in the community of color. Harm reduction in the community of color. Look up just that information right there. Harm reduction, period. Read up harm reduction. Read about harm reduction. It could be SMUGS. It could be, violent criminal behaviors. Put it like that. Violent criminal behaviors, right? Look up harm reduction. They have groups that's coming to your community to help you to reduce that. See, y'all don't hear about a lot of stuff like that, but you'll hear about it when you listen, when you come in contact with me. I can tell you about groups like harm reductions. I can tell you about organizations-wise, family, nonprofits that does work in the community, like Safety in the War Zone, teaching people how to be safe in their own community. That's what these type of organization does. I don't hear nobody, when I hear things on TikTok, right? I don't hear y'all sharing about no solutions, no programs, what's in your area that's fighting against the crisis that's going on in your city. I don't hear y'all talk about that. Now, in Baltimore City, if you know groups like We, Ours, Us, if you know groups like because I'm getting ready to think of their old names, right? Baltimore's Peace Movement. Then you got Hugs Don't Shoot. It's a lot of organizations in Baltimore City. Mr. T, they call him Uncle T. You got a lot of organizations in Baltimore City. Now, I can't speak for Chicago. I can't speak for Detroit. I can't speak for New York. I can only speak for Baltimore City, what we doing here. And if your city have programs that y'all are doing to slow down a lot of the criminal behaviors in your community or in your city, that's how we come together and share information with each other. And not only that, I don't even have a problem if it takes us to travel to another city to help them get organized in their communities. It's groups here that does that. It's a brother here that goes all over. It's a brother here that travels all over and gives sermons. Well, I said sermons, but y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? The other word for sermons. He go to other communities. I think his father, right, used to be, I don't know if his father was in the Black Panther movement back then, or if his father was a civil rights advocate. But that's what he did. And he traveled from city to city doing seminars and stuff like that. I said ceremonies, right? But he's a speaker. And he goes to other cities and support even Marlo Hargrove. Marlo Hargrove does that. That's one of my business partners with the FACE program, him and Archie Lee. They will go to other cities, mainly when it comes to dealing with the ex-offenders and stuff like that. So whenever y'all hear me talk, understand I'm involved with a lot of the community organizations in Baltimore City. And Baltimore City, if y'all don't understand how that happened, when I became a community activist with Communities United, I became a volunteer, but I started going into the communities to see what nonprofits or 501c that was in that community that's doing great work in the community. So anytime you doing a 501c or nonprofit, you're telling the state and the government, this is what you're doing to better that community. Now, what a lot of people tend to do, because they know they can get free money, they might start a community group in this area, like the west side of Baltimore, but then they go over east and do all the work. So they make the state and the government think that they're actually doing that work in West Baltimore when they're actually over East Baltimore or North Baltimore or South Baltimore. And that's how a lot of them get caught down the line, because they getting government funding to grow up a certain community, but they in another community just to get the money. Now you can, if you're gonna do a group west, do a group west. I'm talking about a nonprofit. Then you can expand it to east. Then you can expand it to west. South and north and all that. But you got to start in that area that you're in. And I'm telling you this as a person with an LLC, mine is different. So I can go basically all over. I can go all over. And whoever I talk to, if I talk to them on the phone, and if I give them the address to where to come, it might not be the address to what's on the Google anymore. But it's just the point of giving you a pinpoint, because we worked out that building as well. So now I can say, okay, we close that down or we shut that down. You can come over to such and such and such and such. But sometimes you have to watch certain things, because we're not a shelter. I'm not a shelter. So you can't pop up trying to get in to whatever facility I had at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's how I get phone calls sometimes, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I have to let people know, no, this is not a shelter. It's a temporary housing program where you go from temporary to permanent. So it's a lot of people that's in shelters that will end up coming into the permanent housing program. I mean, the temporary housing program to be put into a permanent housing program, because we all work in conjunction with the homeless services as well. When they got people that can't find affordable housing, or when they have people that needs to be put somewhere, because if you're homeless, you're basically dealing with the shelters. So now you got your transitional housing like mine, but I call mine temporary to permanent housing. If you're familiar with a temporary housing program, transitional, I meant. If you're familiar with a transitional housing program, that's where I'm at. Now, I have friends that have recovery programs. And as you come into the recovery program, you do a 30-day blackout, because you can't be by yourself, even sometimes through the program, because the goal is for you not to slip back up. So then as you begin to graduate through the program, you'll move from one section of the program. Some of the program has permanent temporary housing, transitional housing programs, because they working you out of that part of where you at on the recovery side to the transitioning side, where you'll start working, you'll start becoming more independent, where once you graduate from that type of program, and I'm talking about a recovery program, then you get into your own place. Some of them graduating from programs and they're not being put in houses. Well, that's not their big responsibilities for that. That is not. That's why you end up getting into the transition part of their housing program. You begin to pay your way. Then from there, you can transfer from paying your bills on time like this to be put into something permanent. That's what we train you for. So now you're looking at temporary, transitional, temporary to permanent. I'm the temporary side to help you get prepared to be put back into a permanent place. I don't want nobody to be confused about that, because a lot of times people will call me and they will ask me, what is your program about? And I'll be like, to myself, I'll be like, did you not read what we do? Can you help me understand your program? If you're reading my stuff on Google, if you're going to my website It will tell you everything about Strengthen the Community, the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. It will tell you all about Steve Copeland and what the LLC is all about. Now, I could see if you call me and say, well, I don't have a complete understanding, but understand now, I am not a shelter. I am not. Basically, when you come in, I make you feel like you in your own place, even though you might share space with other people. Because for that temporary moment, you got to learn to get along with other people. You got to learn to get along with people in society anyway. Because you ain't going to run through the rest of your life, right, ducking people. So if you the type of person that's not sociable, that's understandable too. But you understand it's times where you do have to go out in society as a whole. So this is what we do. We are teaching you how to become productive citizens within society. So look, because I had to go buy me some more hats today, right? I wear a lot of hats. Keep that in mind. I have a lot of titles. Keep that in mind. To me, they just like wearing different hats, because that's all they are. I'm an ordained deacon. And if you say, oh, yeah, ordained deacon, and by right, I can tell you right now, a lot of the stuff I used to do, if you want to look on somebody being perfect, a lot of the stuff I used to do, just for today, at the age 63, I just don't do no more. I don't do it no more because I didn't outgrew a lot of it. So when you look at the word repent, right, that means just turning away from your wicked ways. Or that just means turning away from your corrupt ways. Or that means just turning away from your negative behaviors. Okay? So if you still think it's okay when you know the difference between right and wrong, and it ain't got to come out the Bible. If you was taught as a child the difference between right and wrong by your parents, and you choose to do the wrong, you choose to let that wrong side of you outweigh that good side of you. Because it's just one person with a good side and a bad side. What side you more comfortable with? If you more comfortable with that destructive side, you know where it's going to end you. If not prison down below. And y'all know that can happen doing the right thing too. But it's nothing like that beautiful feeling inside when you living more on the right side of life. And I cut it down because I was going to say the righteous side of life. But that's all it is. It's right. When you know it's wrong. When you know what's wrong in life. But you decide, I don't want to live like that no more. I'm going to try to do all the things, I want to say right. I want to say right. But as a human being, sometimes, look, I want to do some stupid stuff. I don't like prison. I'm going to tell you that straight out. And any police officer watching, any prosecutor watching, any judge watching, anybody of that nature, no, I do not like prison. I don't. I like my freedom, where I can come and go as I please. Why I ain't got to have nobody waking me up at a certain time in the morning and saying you got to go to sleep a certain time at night. If I want to go to sleep 10 o'clock, I can go. If I don't want to go to sleep till 3 or 4 in the morning, I can go. My choice. And I know that's their choice too when you behind those bars. If I want to take a walk 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, I can. It's a freedom. And a lot of y'all want to sit back and say, oh, we slaves here, we slaves here. But look, keep in mind, certain things probably does have its grips on us, you get me? But we are the ones, to me, and I'm only saying this, that holds ourselves back. We are the ones I ain't gonna sit there and tell you the white man this and the white man that. Like we the only two cultures or group of people that exist in this world. Do y'all know how dumb that sounds? When we got different cultures, nationalities, but we the only one that's going through stuff. Nobody else go through, we go through. Look how stupid that sounds. Ridiculous that sounds. Nobody else go through what we go through. And then the moment you hear somebody say that's lighter than you, might be considered as the brown race. Oh, but y'all is nothing like what we go through. You gotta put a measurement on it. I'm like, what is wrong with people? I was like that too until I went to Detroit. And I seen they was suffering up there in different cities, you know, mainly because a lot of y'all, if you never grew up in the inner city, you won't understand it. And I sit here and I tell y'all all the time, if you like on TikTok, a lot of people talking about making six figures, doing this, doing that. Everybody don't make six figures. 9 times out of 10, if you in a six-figure, say middle class, I'm gonna do middle class, because middle class is not always 6 figures. Okay, you only have 3 classes financially. You got your poor, then you have your middle class, then you have your rich. Those are basically hitting for your millionaires and stuff. Your middle class people, they in between, basically between low to moderate income people, but close enough to be near the rich people. In between that, it's only 3 branches, basically. So y'all want to sit back and try to make it seem like, you know, people like I'm gonna say Trump, the billionaires, I say the millionaires. When I say the millionaires, I'm talking about the ones that have millions that's close to billions. You get me? That they profit off of these companies with. How do you think they made that money? We made it for them. We are the ones that believe in whatever visions they have business-wise, their products or whatever. We got educated into working for them, to get paid good money. Whether you want to call it career-minded jobs, or you want to call it professional jobs, or you want to call it blue-collar jobs. I wouldn't care if you was only making 30,000 or 40,000 a year. Live within your budget. Don't try to live above your means. Once you're able to get to that status financially, then you can move to that next level. I don't hear y'all talk like this. Know why I can say that? Because I started out 14 years old making $2.10 an hour. Then it went to $5 an hour. Now that was years down the line. The minimum wage now in Baltimore City is $15 an hour. And I'm finding out it's less than that in some places. I'm like, wow. But see, I can only speak on Baltimore City. And the building, I mean, that price, the $15 minimum wage, because I spoke out on it twice. So yes, I can say something. Because I spoke out on it twice. And we got the bill passed. So if you want to try to how y'all say, how y'all say debunk that, right? I ain't hear about that, Tony. I ain't hear about that. I've been be honest with you, Tony. I listen to certain things with the politics, right? But I ain't hear about that. About 8,000 people, new cases of HIV in Prince George County. 8,000. That sounds like they put that out there. Infected people with it. That's what I'm talking about. That's that 8,000. Now if they say 800, because you know HIV is transferred through sex, SMEX on TikTok's sake. and George, and just Prince George County alone in Maryland. I'm telling you, bro, I ain't sold a bit in like 6 years, probably almost 7 years. You scaring me now. Hey, Tony, I ain't sold a bit in 6 years, and I'm ready. I'm in the probably 7. Yeah. I'm telling you, y'all make a retired OG want to stay retired, and I like them younger too. I ain't messing with you. You know what? I'm surprised didn't nobody send it to me. I probably see it now, but oh my God. Tony, 8,000 people. 8,000. Now check this out. And I gotta watch this for TikTok's sake, right? Because TikTok know how I talk. But I'm gonna say the fentanyl for TikTok's sake. You know, we do love TikTok. Now, at 1 year in 2017, it was 900 unalives. 900 and something unalives in 2017. Off of just that, right? Now, you know that was poured back into the community. To hear 8,000, and then you know what happened in Baltimore not too long ago, right? Look at this. This was sitting in a warehouse. This what they use to bring you back from off of that. This what they use. It was poured into the community on Pennsylvania North. Now, the mayor got $460 million to fight this. I said, y'all mother suckers. I said, y'all mother suckers. It's cities, Tony, that have safe consumption sites. We went to get a bill passed for safe consumption sites here in Baltimore City. And I told my director, because the way they was trying to do it was when people go get their smugs, right, rather than them going into these abandoned houses and going in and behind bushes and all that type of stuff, because that's how they was finding them unalive. So we fought to get this bill passed. Congress rejected the bill. And I spoke about this when I came to the community overdose meetings that they was having. It was a bunch of scientists and doctors and all of that was there. And I spoke out on this. Do y'all remember when we fought to get that bill passed? And a lot of them remember Congress rejected the bill for the safe consumption sites. Now you hear how I talk, Tony. And the reason why I do that, because when you're dealing with our politicians or our lawmakers, you got to come at them at a certain way for them to really understand where you're coming from. Mainly when it comes to the people. You can sit up here and sound proper. You can sit up here and sound intellectual. You can sit up here and do all of this and do all of that. That's just a showcase piece. But they know when I come, Tony, and it's not that I'm being smart, I'm going to tell them. You see what I got on Truth? A lady told me to take this. I said, no, I don't want it. Now, mind you, when it first started happening and they started passing this out years ago, I had one in my car. I had one in my personal box truck, And I had one in my tractor trailer. Just in case when I come through the community, if somebody down and out, we can bring them back. But now, that many people? I'm gonna read that back off, Tony. Mr. Truth, since I see you right there, Tony just wrote that a lot of people is saying in Prince George County, and that's one of your conservative counties. Mainly what I was saying about the 3 branches. Tony know. When I'm and Mr. T, you know as well. You got your poor, your low class, low to moderate income people, low to moderate income. Then you have your middle class. Your middle class can be from at least 60,000 to 200,000. That's just popped back in my head. Between and then you have your rich. So I think you're rich from where I'm getting ready to go at. Now, this is just for where I'm at in Maryland, Baltimore City, basically, right? You have your low to moderate income, which is under 40,000. Then you have your anybody that's making above that is considered as your middle class. Because now they're making from say 50, I'm just using this as examples, right? To 200,000. And if I'm not mistaken, that's just for Maryland. Just for Maryland, I can only speak for Maryland. Now, over that 200, going into 300, 400, 500, a million or whatever, those are considered as your higher class, your rich people. Because these are the people, mainly when I say this, Tony, and I'm going to read back what you just wrote. When I say this, right, I have to look at the 3 branches of the financial branches, right, of how they normally govern things. When you're making 6 figures, or say like when you're making well over $40,000 a year. Now I could be wrong and somebody correct me if I am, but I'm just speaking for Baltimore City. When you were making well over that amount, you're more into a professional type career job or profession. I don't like to mix career and job, the 2 together, because they professions. It's a difference. 9 times out of 10, whatever company you working for, they're going to provide those services that you need, mainly if you depend more on state and government. They provide those services where you won't have to look for state and government funding. The only thing I could see some people doing, and it all depends on how many children you have, right, Tony? If you have 4 or 5 kids, and I'm looking at the single mothers, Tony, and you need to feed them kids, yeah, some of them, they might make over $40,000, $50,000, right? But they probably still need food stamps. And they got to make sure they have medical insurance for them too. But wait a minute, Tony wrote, the people in Prince George County, right? The way they are looking at it here in Maryland, they looking at that this might have came from the COVID shot. HIV? Then that meant if they did, they put that stuff in there. Tony, I just read y'all. Tony said, man, I don't want to have sex with no one until I see a woman help. Tony, I'm laughing because you know what? Big Unc might have to do the same thing. Go get your health report and let me see it. Or man, you going on your my charge. My chart. Tony, stop. God dang it. Look, I ain't Mr. Truth. I'm laughing. Come on, don't tell me. Oh, Mr. Truth, I'm laughing at Tony, right? Cause I ain't been active. Oh shucks. I ain't been active in 6 years. No, I know it's real close to 7. I'm telling y'all now. And I'm like, look, Tony, I'm looking for that third wife. Tony got me over here stuttering now. Tony, stop. But look, it sounded, hey, I'm telling you. I wouldn't be surprised, Tony. I'm gonna tell you because when COVID hit, right? I was watching the people in China walking around before it came to the USA and all that. I was watching the people over in China walking around with masks on. And I kind of wondered why. But I didn't really pay too much attention to it other than that, Tony. You know, I seen them walking around with them on. And then later, when they talked about how Dunk was supposed to have fired somebody in NIH. Well, not NIH, but it's normally an agent that goes round to other countries to see what's going on, just in case you still. It was on the news. Stop! You make me want to call Mackenzie Frost now. You make me want to call I might text Mackenzie Frost and ask her. I'll see it, Tony. I just didn't run across it yet. Wow. Wow. That's a lot of people. And then you know, too, at one point, back in the days, watch what I do, family, only for the TikTok's sake, right? Back in the days when you used to do this, right? That's why you had to clean your tools after every time somebody did something. You had to clean them real good, because back then, you know, certain bloods was passing that on as well. So it came from either that, or it came from the sexual thing to be trans, you know. God dang it. I hate this TikTok. I don't hate TikTok. I just hate that you got to use certain language when you're doing TikTok too. Because I'm going to tell you, back in the days, Tony, I see I just got an attachment from you, Tony. It's on Messenger. Yeah, because I'm surprised. Because normally people I got it, Tony. Normally people send me this. Now it's saying it couldn't load. Wait a minute. Oh, stop. Wait a minute, Tony. I don't mean look. Wait, Tony. No, I just happened to go on Facebook, right? Because it said it wouldn't let it load. But I went over to Facebook. Why? Ivan Bates, what is wrong with you, bro? Yeah, I got it, but it wouldn't let it. It won't let it load. This thing saying, look, Mackenzie Frost saying that Ivan Bates is cutting ties. Wait a minute. Ivan Bates says his office is cutting ties with the mayor office of neighborhood safety engagement. Okay, he talking about safe streets. Neighborhood safety engagement. That's right, because Ivan Bates said he's going to nail every goddamn going to buy. Wait a minute, Tony. I'm going to go back over there and see if it'll let it load up now. Oh, it said the post might have expired, Tony. Let me go. Oh. Let me go to All right, I already know you high. Okay. I just finished eating. I made my own little hookup with some rice. And what's that you normally get from the Chinese store? Broccoli, shrimp, not shrimp rice, but I had chicken with the honey sauce, and I made some rice with it and broccoli. I said, "Oh, that's nice. This is my Chinese food." But I took my medicine because I knew it was gonna raise it. Let me stop, because I don't want it to go all the way back down and drop on me. I'm talking about my sugar, Tony. See, now you got me looking up. What's my girl? Baltimore crime and homicide. Tony, I'm gonna hurt you. Let me see. Did Carmela put it up? Cause she normally posts this. All right, I probably run across it though, Tony. I'm saying did Baltimore crime and homicide. I'm trying to see that they posted on their page. Camilla Green. All right. If it's not there, Tony, let me go over to my. Is it on Reddit? Let me see. Reddit normally posts a lot of stuff too. If not Reddit, where is my other one? They post a lot of stuff that's happening around Baltimore City too, Tony. Well, basically, I'm gonna just say Maryland, DC on that. I know you said Facebook. I got you. I got you. News break. Wait a minute, Tony. Cause news break, they give you stuff basically. It's in America, but they will report a lot of stuff like from DC, Baltimore. All right. I know good and daggone well, Tony. You know what I'm thinking? I might have seen it, Tony, and didn't pay a lot of attention to it. See what I was saying, Tony, on news break, right? I don't see it right now, but it's probably on here. But now it's talking a lot about like Baltimore. Um, I think they might report certain things that in DC, certain things that's happening. I know they put a lot of politics stuff on here as well. And I might have, Tony, you know what? I might have seen it and just really didn't pay a lot of attention to it. I'm telling you, bro. Let me go back to Facebook, like you said. I'm surprised, bro. The reason why I say I'm surprised because if I seen it, Tony, I ain't even pay a lot of attention, bro. Yeah, I got you. They're gonna do the whole state of Maryland. I got you. Well, one thing about us, Tony, we ain't sold a bit in the wild, so we might not have to worry about it. And I'm gonna tell you, Tony, if I got it, somebody put something in something. Because it ain't me that put something in somebody to get it. That's what that 8,000. Whoa. 8,000. Let me stop. I'm checking my messages. It's probably on here, Tony. I'm shocked, Tony. And I'm like I said, Tony, I wouldn't be surprised if I read it, just skimmed across it, but didn't pay a lot of attention to it. That's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of people. And that do sounds, it sounds kind of okay. Okay. Yeah, I see it right here, Tony.
Prince George's County residents are living with HIV, and District 8 currently has the highest rate in the county. This includes areas like Forest Heights, Oxon Hill, and Temple Hills. This is according to Council Chair Ed Burrows, who also represents that district. Today on this,
I see it, Tony.
Burrows announced a new partnership with the health organization Us Helping Us. Through the partnership, free in-home test kits for HIV and other sexually transmitted infections will be provided to District 8 residents. Any District 8 resident who tests positive for HIV will be connected with treatment resources, including medical guidance and case management. Burrows says data on HIV.
Yeah, I got it now. I ain't even pay no attention to it, bro. But you know what? Thanks, Tony, because it's a lot of stuff you can look up on Google or another one. I ain't even going on Dr. Jake thing. Cause she steady talking with people, and my thing is, what is they doing? These are politicians back over in that county. I be sick and tired of just listening to people talk about what's happening. We already know what's happening. My thing is, what is we doing to slow a lot of it down or put certain things to a stop? That's one thing about our politicians. They got good talking points, but when it comes to solutions and things, they don't have bull crap. And I'm gonna ask her one day when I talk with her, why you keep doing that? Why you keep like Christopher and all of them? You know they ain't about the people. Why you keep like interviewing them? I don't know if that's to make things look good or sound good or what. That's why I don't mess with a lot of them no more. I'm talking about our politicians, Tony, in Baltimore City, like that. A lot of them I don't even associate myself with no more. Once I realized how phony and fake a lot of them is, how it ain't about really helping the people, I backed up off a lot of them. Yeah, I see it said Forestville on up. All right, yeah, Forestville, Prince George County, Forestville, all back up. So, but still, I mean, it spread it out, but still, that's a lot. That's a lot. God darn. Whew. And then they was talking about they giving out these test kits and all that type of stuff, right? Once again, remember what I was saying about what happened down here? And this stuff right here, it's not to say the unalive rate with the fentanyl. The unalive rate with the fentanyl was 3 times as high, basically, as the pew rate in Baltimore City back in 2017. So now it's like down to about 6. When I read it up on like the crime rate and everything, well, the pew rate, you know, in Baltimore City supposed to have went down. To be honest with y'all, I'm only going by the statistics, basically what they posted. But to be honest with you, from the way I see it, and from the way I know what needs to be done, I think they playing with the numbers. I don't say it a lot because I try to give them a sense of, you know, from 2017, when we brought this spy in the plane here, the spy plane, I said the spy in the plane, the spy plane, to help reduce the unalive rate in Baltimore City. I was telling our young men, I said, now ain't nobody got to snitch on you when you go out and commit certain behaviors, because this camera, the information that we get, we're going to give it to the detective to come and get you. So I said, your behavior is what's going to tell on yourself. Ain't nobody got to snitch on you. And this is what I was telling our young people that felt like it was all right to take each other down. Right? So basically, they knew. And the sad part with that, when you have a tendency of telling somebody what you about to go do, you got to understand you're bound to be caught. Because when they put a certain amount out for your head, you think that person might not going to tell on you? Or the people that know who did it? The only thing about it, they would have to be an eyewitness to it too. But some of them you think not going to tell on your butt? I know, Tony. But like I said, Tony, if it's up to like 100,000, bro, it just make me wonder: is they putting it in something? I'm telling you. And then you know that's going to get more expensive, like for the medical system. And look at what Trump is trying to do. Well, let me back that up. I said what Trump is trying to do. Look at what Congress is trying to do. Cut back on the medical finances and stuff. Cutting back on the Social Security and stuff. So now, if you have people like Tony just put down there, it's 8,000 in Prince George County. So when they start doing more around in Maryland, and not just Maryland, the city too, right? And it's more people, and he said like 100,000. That's more money that they're going to need in the medical system to treat these people. An hour was like another phone call. And then contact, but he didn't pick up. So then the beast picked up. But that still leaves the question: where's Charlie? And I can guarantee you too, every goddamn going Republican that's gonna run off of their mouth, gonna try to switch it around and blame it on the Democrats. Don't fall for that bull crap. The Republicans is head of the Senate now, or Congress now. So a lot of this stuff is coming from them. These program cuts and everything. He's just agreeing to him. Yeah, Tony. But I'm gonna tell you, when I looked at what they was talking about on the news, and they talking about putting packages out for people to test themselves at home and stuff like that. That's a lot of freaking money. That's a lot of money. Remember when I showed you the when I showed y'all the Narcan? And the mayor's office got $460 million to treat that overdose thing. See, this is how they do stuff when they're looking for extra money. And to be honest with y'all, when we talking about 460 million, and from what I understand, this supposed to last over a period of 17 years. They got up to 17 years, and I could be wrong, but 17 years to use that money, and then they can reapply for that type of money, which would probably be more. But 460 million towards the Narcan, the overdose thing, right? That's just in Baltimore. A lot of this stuff, Tony, that we talking about been planned out. Cause now I haven't talked back with some people in New York like I used to. I was connected like that. But in other cities, they do have safe consumption sites. So when a person get, smugs, and if it's laced with that poison, they have a certain place where they can go and they can use. And if they go out, it's a team that will bring them back. That's what we was trying to do here in Baltimore City. And I was telling my director at that time, Tony, I was telling my director, I said, well, since 1515, and that's right there on Pennsylvania Avenue, is real close, and that's where a lot of the drug infected is at, right? I figured once they get their stuff, they can go over there because they're not going to go to a hospital. Nobody in Baltimore City that's going to cop from North Avenue in Pennsylvania going to go all the way down to Maryland Generals or going to go all the way down to the University of Maryland. They're not going to do it. So my thing is, you need to fix some more in the inner city. And this is how I was talking with them, Tony. So now you got the library right there. You got 1515, which is a medical center like Tony talking about, where you go and get tested. You just need to put a group of people in there. Turned around when that thing happened on Pennsylvania Avenue and the medical team came up, they went in the library, down the basement. I said, just what we was talking about back in 2017, now they talking about doing it. So it's a plan. It's a straight out plan for a lot of this bull crap. And the thing that gets me with Baltimore City, a lot of people see this. They are your family members. They like my family members. We see what happened to them, but we'll turn around and do like this. Well, it ain't me. It ain't me. And how many people y'all know in Baltimore City, let's be real, have the balls to stand up to our politicians or our commissioner and pointing certain things out to them where they could do a better job? That's why for me, people like Uncle T, people like We, Ours, Us, people like Hugs Don't Pew Pew for TikTok's sake, but shoot over here. Um, People that start nonprofits, now a lot of them are getting the government funding to help them fight or reduce a lot of this. But a lot of people don't understand a lot of the government funding will actually go towards paying your employees that's working with you. So once again, it's still less money going into the community, mainly to rebuild up. Educational reasons, purposes, and stuff like that. I spoke out on the school system, how they not properly educating our children. I was starting to read up more about the school to prison pipeline. But you got to understand, this is designed mainly towards our young men. It's not that the women aren't doing anything to go behind bars too, but it's mainly our young men. And then y'all know and understand, right, that the prison system ain't nothing but the big old slave plantation. A lot of them going out working in these warehouses and places and like that, places like that for these well-to-do or billionaires and stuff like that. It's cheap labor. And see, you know what, Tony, I was reading what you saying. Indeed, DC leads all cities in the United States in sexual transmitted diseases cases with herpes and all that. You know, I haven't heard that in a long time. I haven't heard that word in a long time, Tony. Know what? He can announce it all he wants that he's stopping the food stamps in all the Democratic cities. That's why they're gonna get him out. Because guess what? The Democratic cities is filled with all cultures anyway. Not just melanated people. But guess what? Over in Baltimore City, it's a lot of nonprofits, a lot of 501c3s that's feeding, and churches that's feeding the communities. He better hope he make it through the midterms, because they looking at overriding the to step back down because of what's being talked about with this Jeffrey Epstein thing. A lot of them starting to they starting to back up. Look at Marjorie. When Marjorie starts speaking out, I said to myself, 9 times out of 10, something happened to her when she was younger. And that's why she, as a woman, she's supporting the trauma that some of these young, women went through. Now, some of y'all trying to show pictures of Bill Clinton and this person and that person. They have not mentioned other names other than that. Now, I'm not saying these people probably didn't do anything. Don't get it wrong. But they're not calling them names out. They basically focusing on the orange guy and what Epstein and them was all doing together. Now, it's a lady that I met some years ago that's in the UK that's been putting their politicians on blast. So it goes to show you this thing is a worldwide thing. with a bunch of old men, older grown men, grandfathers and stuff, having smacks with children at granddaughters' ages. And don't be surprised if some of the family members don't start speaking out. Some of the girlfriends of what's your name's daughter probably talk about how he touched them. See, y'all ain't looking at that. Y'all in your mind talking about, oh, the Democrats did the Democrats. It ain't the Democrats. I remember those pictures. I'm 63. Donald Trump is 78. So he's 15 years older than me. I remember seeing those pictures. That ain't no AI stuff. Some of them they might have played with, but the ones I've been seeing, I remember those pictures when I was a teenager. But I'm telling you, because of the way some of us grew up, right, around older perverted men, it appeared to be normal. We didn't look at it like it is now. You know what I mean? In a more horrible way. But we talking about children. And look what happened with Bill Cosby. They wasn't children, they was younger women. They wasn't 13, 14, all of that. They was just younger women that was trying to get into the field. You know what I mean? That back then, and the thing with Bill Cosby, to be honest, I can tell y'all myself, that's what we did with some, coming up, doing this or doing that. We would get this stuff. And all of us would, you made your mate, or I said your mate, you made them comfortable as far as, getting them a little intoxicated so it would be more easier for you to be with them. So now I'm just telling y'all, from the way we did stuff coming up, it was like a normal behavior of the weed together, and then later, So I'm just saying, with Bill Cosby, it seemed to me, even though it was wrong, it seemed like a normal behavior. Oh, they was National Guards. After the National Guard got unalive here, he not going to let nothing on his watch go by. He going to really do damage in a lot of things since the National Guard got unalive, murdered. 2026 may be one of the most worst years our country may endure. You know what? I'm just, I don't get it. I'm just talking about. It took a friend of mine's, right, that ran for mayor to help me understand, basically, by the Republican Party being mostly in charge as far as they hold more seats than the Democrats. It's the Republicans, bro. It's Congress that's doing this. It's the Republican people that's doing it in Congress. The only powers. Now, Trump then went beyond and above too much. He's not, because no president has power over the three branches of government like that. No president. His goal is only to approve it or veto it. That's all he do. A lot of this bull junk from what I started understanding about the three branches of government. That's why the three branches of government is there, so that one individual won't have all that power. No one individual. And I was shocked because I asked my friend Keith, I said, why they have not impeached him yet? And that's when he explained to me, because of the Republican Party itself. Because they have more seats, they're more in control. That's why the Democrats is trying to overrun them now. so they can stop or slow a lot of this down. So believe me, I'm telling you right now, a lot of Republicans is going to start voting Democrats just to get it back, just to get some order back here. Prayerfully, before this bull junk happened, because everybody know this is a setup. Can't no one individual do this themselves. I don't care because he's a yes man. Yes or no? So everybody need to really look at where it's coming from. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. For a lot of y'all that want to judge Jasmine Crockett, she's telling you. She's basically telling y'all where it's coming from. She's telling all of us that. Now, as a person, myself, that deals with our politicians, I already know where it's stemming from. And then it comes from the laws, you get me? But I already know where it's stemming from, but we can't help it but to keep pointing the fingers at him. And most of everybody I talk to, I have to bring them back. He don't create no bills. He don't create no policies. He don't do none of that. Matter of fact, he don't have time to be writing these things. But we always giving him them profits. The credit. And I was talking to a young man today, right? And I was telling him, because we was talking about certain things. And I was telling him, you know, when you do what I do, right? And that's fighting for the people's democracy. When you do what we do, you coming up against the laws that tend to hurt the people. If they create laws that can better benefit the people, we're not going to fight your laws from getting on the books. We're going to encourage and motivate people to vote for it to be put on the books. But when you create laws that tend to hurt the people, now that's when we're going to really come out on your tail. No. Don't fall for the hype, bro. It's the government that pays for a lot of that. It's the government. The government is what allows the illegal, they can come in, Tony. The only thing about the immigrants now, they coming in too much. They coming in too much and they causing the government too much money. They causing the government because number one, no, that's just the games they play, Tony. In New York and just about everywhere, right? They have illegals in hotels to become American citizens. I found that out when I was giving out donations and stuff, dealing with Hispanics and all of that. We have illegals. They coming across the border, but you have organizations like Communities United. No, I'm sorry, that's the Baltimore branch. But you have centers like let me make sure I get it right. I got to go in my brain. The Center for Popular Democracy. They are a group that fights. The Center for Popular Democracy, y'all never hear about them. I'm telling you about them. I'm telling you about the Center for Popular Democracy. Then you got the ACLU. These are some of the organizations that's at the border fighting for certain people to come in. But they're coming in too much now. Okay, look, Tony, I got you on that. Tony, did Trump ever say anything about the ACLU? American Civil Liberty Union? Did Trump ever say anything about the Center for Popular Democracy? Tony, if that's the case, then they might as well get rid of the daggone Africans. Are they illegal immigrants? Anybody that's not a United States citizen, they are illegal immigrants until they become legal. So why is we just looking at the what is they, Mexican, Hispanics or whatever? Come on, bro. Do you know it's a lot of Africans now that are correctional officers over the prisons now in Baltimore and in Jessup and stuff like that? Or Jessup closed? Do you know it's a lot of correctional officers that's Africans? And when I was arguing with them over the prison, Tony, I told them, do not mess with me because I make sure we get somebody to pull their stuff. They backed up off of me once they realized what I do around Baltimore City. But do you know, now, I'm going to tell you right now, Tony, in between with in Ellicott City, it's 3 hotels I delivered some clothes to. They was illegal immigrants. You didn't hear somebody talk about a hotel in New York that they have illegal immigrants here to become United States citizens? They got money on the side. Ain't that the Democrats? The government, both of them work together. Democrats and Republicans. Right. Right, Tony, that's the government. Look, don't just look at one side. The government is the Democrats and the Republicans. Some of them going to agree, some of them not going to agree. Even though you have now, I became a Republican. I am a Republican. I am a Republican. I was a Democrat for 40 years. I'm a Republican. But guess what? I don't support Trump. So all the Republican people that I basically know, they crazy about Trump. I'm not crazy about Trump. It's not about Trump. It's about the American people. That's where we get lost at. Now look, let me say this again. I became, and I was thinking about that, Tony, when I was coming home, right? I became a Republican, right? Because I said I'm in the middle. But the Republican Party, their goal is, from what they told me, was to help the poor people to become more independent. That's why Trump cutting out, that's why the Republican Party is cutting out a lot of these programs so people can become more independent. But they don't have programs to help them to become more independent. That's why I said they only do this. Brenda is on one of my friends' show now. And I don't know if you know Brenda Thom. She's in Prince George County. She's on Lady J's show right now. She's running for governor. They going to, man, come on. You know they going to Republican cities too, Tony. And then look, from what I understand, that a lot of the Republican cities, now I could be wrong. I'm just saying some shit I heard. I don't do a lot of stuff. I don't do a lot of research on stuff that don't really interest me, right? So I have to, like I said, I got to stick to what's going on here. But look, Tony, let me see. Let me show you this. If it pop up for me. Because right now, my friend, Dr. J, Brenda Thime, is in Prince George County, right? She's in Prince George County. Now, even though Tony, most you got look, you got Republicans and you have Democrats, you have the Green Tea Party, you have other political parties that's out there too. It's just that you have the Democrats and the Republican Party is the two strongest parties out there. Now, here they go right here. Now, I think she's gone off now. But Dr. J had John Merrick on there and Brenda Thime. These are people that's in Prince George County. But they running on the Republican ticket. Brenda is black. Now, in Baltimore City, you have Christopher Anderson, you have Giovanni, you have Dr. Shannon Wright. You have, I'm trying to think of the ones that I know that's black, but running on the Republican ticket. The only person, say like that's in a Democratic city that can run on the Republican Party, that can win their seat is your Congress people. Because you can vote both ways, even when it comes to the president. Here they go right here. This is Dr. J. Me and Dr. J deals with a lot of the Republican people. I deal with Republicans and I deal with Democrats alike. And to me, people try to separate them, but they the same to me, bro. But now, if you don't understand their mission statement, the Republican Party mission statement is basically to help those that depends and rely on government funding, state and government funding the most, to help them to become more independent. Now tell me, what programs do the Republican parties have in the inner city to help the people to become more independent? Well, let's do this right here, Tony, because I see what you just wrote. ISIS is the ones. ISIS are the ones that's going after the illegal immigrants. Now, you know a lot of construction companies, because of a lot of the illegal immigrants they had to get rid of, right? Did they continue doing the construction on those buildings or community centers? I know you've seen some of those, bro. The immigrants running from the development sites. Did they replace the immigrants, the illegal immigrants that was here on some of the farms that they ran them off on? Did they replace them? I know they Democratic cities, bro. I just asked you a question. Did they replace, right, the illegal immigrants that work for a lot of these big construction companies in these Democratic cities that's doing new developments? You seen a lot of them running from the from ISIS. Did they replace them with who to work to continue building this stuff? See, we sitting up here. The reason why I'm saying this, and then not only that, Trump is a billionaire, right? You think Trump don't deal with a lot of people that's working in this hotel? Do you remember they talked about that too? A lot of hotels have, immigrants or migrants, however you want to call them, that comes from other countries that end up working in these hotels. The golf course. Did you know that, bro? It was some people talking about Trump too. How they've been working for Trump for the longest time. Now you got Trump sitting up here, from what I'm hearing, talking about you people that's born in the United States, sending them out of here. I ain't got no problem. When I look at our young men, right, and I can only say this, Tony, for what we do here in Baltimore City, the goal is to get a lot of these developers to train a lot more of the ones that don't have experience in those areas. So I have to deal with master contractors, right? No, 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 no. The Queen shouldn't be asking none of that. See, I'm trying to get that quote back. That land of the brave and of the free. So a lot of people that's in poor countries, they end up coming to the United States. Now I know you mentioned the immigrants, right? And the migrants, right? Immigrants. I know you said the immigrants. Then I got you. Now, check this out. I just asked you. Bro. They have gotten rid of a lot of the immigrants. Who have they put in those positions to work these farms or to work at these construction sites? Since the immigrants has been ran off, they're running them off. So who have they actually started training to fill those positions? Now, do you really think that our black men that's on these corners going to volunteer to go work on farms? Do you really think that a lot of our young men out there on these corners, unless somebody trains them, they have to be trained as electricians, they have to be trained as plumbers, they have to be trained as HVACs. So you got to get them with these master contractors or these big developers to train them to do the jobs that the illegal immigrants are not there to do no more. Tony, I got you, bro. I got you. This is where a lot of people get lost at, right? You will never stop immigrants from coming into the United States. You will never stop it. Now you can slow the process down where they won't come in as much. You can slow it down. That's what they're doing. They're slowing it down. The illegal ones, they're slowing it down. I just said that, Tony. I just said, now, I deal with a lot of our young black men. And we put them into apprenticeship programs, Tony, where they might want to go to truck driving, where they might want to get into cement finishing, bricklaying, stuff like that, construction, HVAC, all of that. So the same way you moving them out, Tony, you got to replace them with other workers to continue getting these construction jobs or these development jobs being done. Now, my friend, Ples Jones, he has a workforce development program. They have a workforce development program, accredited program, where they train mostly our poor people. Tony, what I just said, bro, must have flew over your head. Didn't I tell you? I just said, Tony, that I deal with master contractors, right? That will, or developers, that will train our young men, black men, the ones on the corner. Because a lot of them that's out there on the corners don't know, or in the streets, you get me, Tony? They don't know where a lot of these programs are at to help them turn their lives around. That's why I come on my live running off at my mouth, to let them know this is what Strengthen the Community does. This is what the LaTanya D. Copeland House is all about. It's helping those that feel like they can't accomplish enough in their life to help them understand, yes, you can. I tell people all the time, I came out of school in the 10th grade. I got a 9th grade education. I'm doing damn good. And started my LLC. I started driving the tractor trailer for 35 years. I retired at 58. So you can't tell me can't nobody be successful. That's why I go back into the black community to let our young men know, if you want to get your GED, if you want to get your high school diploma, if you want to get other degrees, right, to help them understand it's programs out there that will pay for your schooling. That's why I come on and do what I do, Tony, on TikTok. And I explain to TikTok, when I come on my platform, I'm promoting and advertising my business. I get people from French George County, DMC, all that, you know, Virginia. They ask me, do you work with people up in this area? I know people in DC. It was a lady in DC that told me about the bill that was passed. All right. So, all right. I'm going to share this, Tony. I'm going to share this. You're right. A lot of your major developers started hiring more of the illegal immigrants or the immigrants because of their work ethic. Let's keep that clear. Because of their work ethic. But let me tell you where Uncle went, bro. I met a couple of billionaires in Baltimore City. And that's when I met Ples Jones too. He has a big development company. He don't just do commercial, right? Projects like shopping malls and all that, big buildings and all that. He just don't do that. He do housing as well. So his goal is to get more into the housing part. That's where I'm at. His goal is to start rehabbing and revitalizing more inner city houses for the poor people, the people that's making under 40,000. This is what him and his wife is all about. With their business, their construction business, with their development business and all of that. He just got 2 contracts out of city. He was trying to do something up in Virginia. I talked with him on my live to see that they get it done. It was a $60 million project to put up a new facility. I'm over here near Morgan. The black guy that did this facility around here and working with mortgage, he's a black guy. So I've been reaching out to him. But everything comes at a time, right? It comes at a time. Now, let me share this with you. For where I'm at and the politicians that I mess with, any contracts in Baltimore City that is hard for the black man to get, I basically know who deals with them contracts. I'm not saying their names. And a lot of people know I know. That's why they asked me to team up with them, to talk with the politicians so that they can get certain things. So now these people, we planning to sit down because I need to understand what you want, how you want it, because I know who to go to. That deals with basically minority contracts. You got to know who do what, bro. Now, this where I come in at. If I go and you let me know what's what, I understand what you want, how you want it. I will go to certain politicians to present that to them so that you can get that contract, or you can get that contract. Like Plus Jones, I know you don't mind, because this what he said, right? He said, Steve, I want us to partner up because, one, he was looking at some land because he wanted to rebuild. And what he told me, right, redevelop the land. He said, Steve, I don't need their money, but since you know them, I need you to go talk with them for me. Because that's how they do with certain black companies. They will play with you for when the white man come in, that's not an option. It's not a problem. And this is a conversation we had on my show, bro. So now the reason why I'm saying this is because that's why it's good to get involved in your community activities. Remember when me and you was talking about Bree Jones? So you got to know who to go to talk to who, right? And that's why I admired, because when she came here, this is some stuff her and I talked about. So I was glad that they worked with her. But guess what? A lot of times they're more willing to work with outside developers than they are with the inside developers. We got developers in Pennsylvania that's doing a lot of work up Park Heights. The girl at the Park Heights Renaissance, I had to meet her because she teamed up with them. This ain't got nothing to do with Trump or the Democrats or the Republicans. Basically, they are your lawmakers. Those are the ones that you got to go to the mayor's office, or you got to go to the office, right, where you can get these get approved for these contracts. So now, guess what? I become a broker now. I get into broker mode. I throw on the suit and the tie, my teeth and everything. You know, I'm blang, blang, blang. Blang, 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 bro. I'm saying this on here, right? But look, a lot of people know me, and they know it's just what I was beginning to see, even with the business wise, right? I'm doing better than most. Let me put it like that. For the years that I've been doing what I have been doing. Now, have I profited a lot of it? Have I profited a lot? No. But I'm here because I started seeing some people can have $1 million business, right, a year, or 2 or 5, because that's the work that they're putting in to produce whatever they're doing with their business. But the business itself, as a whole, mainly when you got employees, you might not be at that point where you're really earning a good profit, right? Out of once it all said and done, because your business, the work that you do per year, right, can be $1 million project. It could be a $2 million project. But now you got employees, you got products to put out. So now all of your money basically going back into that business. So at the end of the year, when you're doing your taxes and everything, it's showing that you operate off of $2 million for that year. Then next year it can be 3. But the thing is, what I'm saying though, sometimes people, it's like a lot more of your money will go into your business where it's stable, but it's not earning a profit or a lot. You get me? And that's what I started saying with my own business. The work I do is there, but it's like I have to learn not to put as much back into the business in order for me to save. And that's basically how it goes, to profit from it. It said all the cleaning contractors that black men had in the federal government are gone. They gave all of the cleaning contracts to the Hispanic men and women. Tony, when you said that, what's up, Steve? When you said that, Tony, I was like, you better look at the goddamn government. When you said that, Tony, because look, Tony, this is what I learned, right? I'm telling you, Tony, them motherfuckers work together, Tony. You keep that in your mind. They work together. They compromise together. But then you have some people that don't sell their soul. You get me? But they work together. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But see, what we got to do, the stuff that they preached about, if I get in, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. We need to hold them accountable for it. Because the thing is, if you start making them feel like, okay, this is your last term, we're going to vote you out, then they'll try to straighten up just to make sure they get the next. But then you got to understand too, and I'm going to tell you point blank, and I know you probably remember this, Steve, if you still right there. I helped Kimberly Klacik run for Congress on the Republican ticket. Soon as I seen Kwesi, and Kwesi, I ain't trying to be smart, because your butt ain't come out and speak and all that type of stuff. The moment I seen Kwesi, I said, she ain't going to get it. Now, mind you, I was in Prince George County too. And he walked through there. And the moment I seen him, Kimberly Klacik was protesting her tail off. Got $10 million for like donation money. I mean, money, right? For the why I get tongue tied? She got about $10 million to run her campaign, right? Now that came from all over the world. A lot of them are, not all, Tony. Tony, a lot of them are. I'm laughing, Tony, because look, you said all the McDonald's are ran by Hispanics. He said all of it. He said Wendy, Target, McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell. Stop, Tony. He ain't lying though. But now, Tony, you got my stomach hurting, Tony. But you know, a lot of them are more of the ones that became legal. Oh my God, Tony. Tony named all of them. He said, wait a minute. KFC, Target, Wendy's, Taco Bell, they all ran by Hispanics. The only thing he didn't put in there was the Pancake House. hurt you, Tony. May I take your order, please? Tony, you got my chest hurt. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, Tony, reason why I'm laughing, right? Because over at the shopping mall, and I'm going to tell you all this, we can build black all we want, just like they can build white all they want. Centers, right? Now, you know, if they don't let a certain amount of black people in, that's considered as discrimination. And that's the same with us as black people. If we create certain things, and you might find a white family that wants to come into that area, and we discriminate against them, you're going to have people protesting against whatever you're doing. So that's why even with the houses, Tony, right? Even with the houses, when they starting to redevelop and rehabit houses, right? Well, redevelop houses, community-wise, right? They have to let so many go to the low to moderate income people. Did y'all know that? Because I'm telling y'all, if you don't fix it where they can become part of, there are organizations that will file lawsuits against you for discrimination. Don't forget that. The same way we could always vote. We had the right to vote. Don't ever get it wrong. We had the right to vote. But we didn't have the right to vote without discrimination. That didn't get passed until what, 1965, where they couldn't come at you and threaten you and fight on you to stop you from voting. You could always vote. That's why you got to read up and understand your history, right? Mainly when it comes to us as black people. So when you're dealing with the Hispanics and I'm gonna say illegal immigrants, when you're dealing with them too, Tony, they do have the right to be here. But say like for us, and I'm just saying the United States as a whole, I don't know how many they might let through a year. And that's the United States as a whole, where they let them in and they put them up until they're able to become legal. The government pays for that, Tony. Rather, it's the Democrats or the Republicans. That's your tax money. Doesn't matter which agree to it. That's your tax money. It's my tax money that we pay back into the state and the taxes. This is what pays for them to be here. But what I'm trying to get to with that, right? They are coming in too much. So the way for us to save money is they targeting more of the illegal ones to get rid of them. Do y'all know there's a prison with a lot of young children in it? Illegal immigrants' children in a prison. And I'm trying to think of the lady name that did the interview on it. It was one of them well-known she's not a reporter. Her name is like on the tip of my tongue. It's the white skinny lady with the little with the little short hair. Somebody did a interview and you could hear the children in there like talking and just being loud. And why her name Mayo something, and she started crying. She started crying. She couldn't take it no more. Because see, a lot of us see what's happening, Tony, and the only reason why a lot of them run here, Tony, because they know that where they at, they in poverty anyway. You get me? They living below the poverty rate anyway, so they come here to try to make a better life. But they're coming in too freaking much. So I understand what they're doing. Right, right. I told him, I got you. I got you. I got you with that. With a lot of the banks and the government. Yup. The same with your Koreans or your Chinese. Come on, we want to talk about illegal immigrants. They come here. They open up facilities where they ain't got to pay taxes on it for at least about 7 years. And the moment they get to that point that they got to pay taxes on it, they switch out on it. I was getting ready to get a store. Me and some friend of mine was looking at this store to take over this store for this guy that came from another country, made money. And it was getting to the point where matter of fact, I think it's still closed down now. Somebody might be in it, but I think it's closed down now. Matter of fact, it was a liquor store and like a grocery store, Tony, downstairs, right? And it was some apartments upstairs because I was going to turn it into like a transitional housing program, and some people came at me. Why would you do that if you're trying to help like recovering addicts, but then you want to open up that little liquor store at the bottom part and grocery right? Like I was just looking for the business side of it, but actually, be honest with y'all, they made a lot of sense. I'm gonna put it like that. They was right. Because number one, you talking about bettering the community, but now you looking at a liquor store to make money off of something that's poisoning the community. Like, damn. Yeah, so I'm real familiar with that. And I got a friend, right, who have like KFCs. I think he might have some Wendy's. I don't know if he have Taco Bells, but I know he got 7-Elevens, and it's a black guy. He ran for mayor in Baltimore City. And I called him my son because I think me and his mother was about the same age, right? But anyway, that's what he do, Tony. He's like a franchiser, black guy, and he just opened up a nice restaurant over near 33rd, more in your conservative, mostly white area, but you got black people that lives in that area too. But most of them are your middle class. When I say conservative, I'm talking more like your middle class people. You know, see, I didn't know. I grew up in the inner city, Tony. So, you know, that ghetto mentality. But now, as you begin to get older, and well, not older, say you begin to get into business. Now, when I'm sitting around and I'm dealing with people business wise, you better know where you're coming from. You better know how to talk. I'm talking about developers and all that, right? You better know how to talk and present things. It's how you present it. They already looking at you in your business itself. So whenever I have a business meeting, I got to show them, because once you come out to the facility, you already saying what he do. So I'm talking about me. So it's not just that you listening to me. You listening to me, but you actually, I can show you personally everything that I say out my mouth I'm doing. Even though we had to close this down, it was some other people that I started working with too. Because I got to keep people with people that's like in real estate investors. See, I have to keep them around because I'm talking about temporary to permanent housing. So no matter what, I can always rent property. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. But to find a facility with like 13 apartments in it, at least 8. I want my own building where I ain't gotta like be part of nothing with nobody else. When you come, you coming with me. I ain't gotta re-rent or do what's that, subleasing. No. Because when you step in with me, you're not gonna tell me how to run my stuff. You're not gonna do it. Because I would never tell you how to run your business. You already know what you're doing. You just we adding to each other. So I'm not gonna sit back and tell you how to run your business. If you already established And we like right there with each other. You that missing link, we come together. I can't come with you and try to be with you and help create over there. You already had to be creative. So when you're dealing with Steve's stuff is set. This is where I'm at. This is what you can add to it to help us grow even more. And if I find out you full of crap with your stuff, bye. I'm telling you me. The hell I'm gonna deal with you for if I see you some shiesty person. That's why a lot of them in Baltimore City don't give a freak about me because they know I don't play. When I spot your bull crap. So they try to make people think, oh, he this, oh, he that. Yes, he is. I lived that corrupt life. I lived it. That's not how I live today. So when you hear me say things like you robbing Peter to pay Paul, I'm talking about you stealing from our low to moderate income people to fatten up your pockets. That's why I don't deal with a lot of people like I used to. But I have to respect them no matter what from a distance. If that's how y'all make your money, that's how you make your money. I ain't got to worry about nobody coming down on me talking about Steve did this, Steve did that. I ain't got to worry about that. I'm talking about the government, the federal government or the state. I ain't got to worry about that. But it's a lot of people I know that's doing what they're doing, but they trying to be careful. I can't knock you. If that's how you play your game, that's how you play your game. My thing is, and Brandon Scott, Ivan Bates, Isabel Cummins, most of our council members and whoever, Tony, I'm talking about politician wise, they know Uncle Steve ain't done. Come on. They already know. They know who on the tape. They know who's not on the tape. They already know. That's why I can call Brandon Scott nephew. That's why I can call Antonio Hayes nephew. That's why I can call Tony Glover, Donnie Glover. Let me get his name right because every time and he always. That's okay. Because I'm bad with names. And it's certain politicians, you know, because you in the community. It doesn't matter. Park Heights, East, South, North. I grew up in Baltimore City. I know a lot of the old people. And I know he might not mind me saying it because they doing different things now, like Peanut King. Dennis Wise. And I know they don't mind me saying this because, number one, we walk together with We Ours Us. A lot of them is in nonprofits now, you know, helping, giving back to the community to help people turn their lives around. That's why I said I know Peanut King might not mind me saying it because we've been at certain community events together with pastors, bishops, ministers. Come on. Being in one of the biggest churches in Baltimore City. Tony, I'm not messing with you. So you mean tell me, Tony, I got to become an illegal immigrant? Tony said everything you trying to get accomplished is a race thing. If you were an illegal immigrant, you get everything you want. Tony, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. Tony, you not lying. I might start learning a different language, Tony. Tony ain't lying. That's one of the biggest things right now for me. And I'm talking about more towards the housing part. Basically, no, I'm not going to do it because I was getting ready to say getting people to donate towards helping our homeless and less fortunate people. But I'm going to just say this. When it comes to clothes, when it comes to food, when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to me getting donations to give back to the impoverished community, that's not a real big issue. I can get those things because I know where warehouses that have it more abundantly. But most of the businesses, Tony, they are white people. I'm trying to get more black people involved in the business side, like Tony's saying. Now, the donation side of stuff, but when it comes to like what Tony said, the financial side. Now, this, Tony, what I did, which I'm going to have to do different now, when I started doing my business proposal, I did the LLC. I was going to do the 501c3 with the business. But the only reason why I didn't, Tony, because I didn't want the government in my business like that. You get me? So I'm not going to say I'm regretting it, but I'm understanding the importance of that free money. I'm beginning to see it now. So the goal, Tony, like what you saying, right, with the LLC, I am going to do the 501c3 under the LLC. But I'm going to do the 501c3 because of the multi-purpose center, Tony, right? For the inner city youth. So my goal, I've been looking at schools or recreation centers as well, where we can have programs in them for our inner city youth. So I wrote everything out for that as well. I got a proposal for that. But the point now, it's like I was trying to look, Tony, like you said, I was trying to look for investors, business partners, and sponsors. So now, Tony, I got to do the 501c3. Now, I am going to need, which we was talking about, Tony, I am going to need like master contractors, but I want to deal more with the black brothers and sisters. You get me, Tony? Mainly when it comes to the redeveloping the houses, and mainly when we get the recreation center, because 9 times out of 10, it's going to need work. Because they're closing a lot of the recs down or the schools down that might have 2 floors to it, where you can do the first floor, you can do the rec and everything, you know, music, art, theater, dancing. And not only that, you can do the apprenticeship programs too. So I would have a certain amount in there, but that's to better educate the community. So all of this has been a vision of mine, Tony, and I pray to God. God pointed me in this area, Tony, to make it simple, bro. And I just want to look back one day, y'all, like this and see everything right there and be like, wow. Because it's a vision here. It's that dream. And a lot of people that knows me, Tony, in Baltimore City, even y'all that act like you don't want to mess with Steve Copeland no more, y'all know I still love y'all. It's not me, it's God. God moved me out the way from a lot of people. I ain't mad. I miss y'all. I ain't lying. A lot of y'all crutball people that be out there still trying to talk about Steve this, Steve that. And y'all ain't seen Steve in like 2 years. Because y'all know I was over to prison for 11 months. I was on home monitor, Tony, for 13 months. So a lot of y'all I haven't seen. But y'all still got my mouth in your name. My name in your mouth. Steve is Steve. That's Steve home. And then he down here, business-wise. I ain't been out. Look. I ain't going to call your names because somebody called me the other day and said, you was talking about me, bro. And I said, last time me and you hung together when that overdose thing came, I said, I haven't talked to you about nothing since then. If you looking, stop putting me in your mouth when you on your show. Stop that bull crap. Before I call you goddamn on phone. That's how we do each other, Tony. He might call me like he said, I'm on my live. and I got about 200 people listening. This is Steve Copeland right here. And we'll start talking. Come on, bro. You know how we go. Stop sitting up there trying to make me look like I'm some bad 60-something-year-old. And I'm older than you too, just by a year. Even though you look older than me. Yeah, Calvin. And Calvin. Look. The same people, Tony, that I was telling you about, John Arnold, Laura and John Arnold's, they have a place, an office, if I'm not mistaken, in DC. And what they do, Tony, they billionaires. And they put money into communities that's redeveloping them. I was listening to one of their lives one day, Calvin, as well. And my goal, because when What's Your Name came here in 2017, they was putting up $1 million for him to do that spy plane. Everybody was crying, Calvin, talking about that's our tax money. No, the Arnolds was paying for it. And when we went down to City Hall to promote it, the Arnolds went from 1 year, $1 million, up to 3 years paying for it to help reduce the crime in Baltimore City. And y'all steady crying. We got cameras all over the place. The spy plane, the goal was to help slow a lot of it down. Now that was 2017 when we was at 343 homicides by Pew Pew. Now it's supposed to be less than that. They said for 2024 it's supposed to be 201. We was talking about getting it down that low within a year. Because, see, I'm in the streets. So I'm telling our young men, y'all do this, y'all do that. Ain't nobody got to snitch on you. Ain't nobody got to do this because your behavior going to tell on itself. Just giving them a warning, that's all. Giving them something to think about. Right. Calvin just put it there. Look, folks are crazy. We are being filmed everywhere. Go to the doctors. And go in the room to get examined and watch that camera right there. Did y'all realize that? You in there butterball naked, rubbing all on this and that, and then you look up and be like, damn, they recording me. I hope they're not sending this to A&I. And I'm telling y'all this too, hey, Calvin, it's just a joke. You better watch what you do in your bedroom with your phones and stuff looking at you. And it can be off. I was going to say something real stupid, right? Because y'all know I ain't had smacks in like 6 years, but sometimes you got to love yourself. So look, Calvin, I be like, man, I hope ain't nobody looking. I got the TV on and you over there trying to keep your own company. Damn, I hope they ain't recording this. And then you laying in the bed with the phones beside you, right? But they upset, they turned down, and you over there trying to enjoy yourself. I hope ain't nobody listening. What the fuck? I'm too damn honest. I can't do this. I can't be doing this. But yeah, I mean, and I'm telling you right now, I'm telling y'all right now, I know TikTok is looking straight at me. They know that I'm going to break about 5 videos down and I'm going to send back to TikTok. And every video, Calvin, I send back over to TikTok, they send me video not approved. It doesn't this and that. And I put something back in there like y'all educational purposes only. The same way y'all talking about doing the community guidelines, I'm within your community guidelines as a community coordinator, as a community, part of that too. As a community outreach coordinator, as a community organizer, I'm going by your community guidelines and I'm trying my best to use community language. It's not to insult nobody as a recovering person. I know y'all don't want us to point out what people is doing, you know, with the smugs and all of that, right? And how they might be down and out. And I have to go back in it and say certain things to TikTok to let them know my goal is educating the community. TikTok community. You got people on here they don't post a lot of the negative bull crap, but I know they will shut your platform down too. I already know that with TikTok. Because I done been on platforms and people be dropping to come back up to get more people in. And I'm like, don't they cut off your stuff? But see, my thing with TikTok, I'm not here. And I had to make that clear with them. If I can make money, yes, I would love to make money. But I'm here to commercialize basically the business as a community activist, as a human rights advocate. I'm trying to spit positive stuff. And if you notice some of my stuff, if you read my stuff on TikTok, right, I put out gospel, I put out inspirational, basically whoever might read across it, right, humor stuff, whoever might read across it, you don't know what state of mind they might be in. So they might come past and read something that just get them out of that space for a moment. And that's how I see things. And I'll be like, God, I'll pray first. What can I send over today? Like I posted some stuff about love and respect. Love and respecting yourself. I put something on there about relationships. Because it seemed like to me, and it's not being smart, it seemed like the people that I hear on TikTok, I don't know what world they in. So when I come on Ron and them platform, a lot of time Unc just be in the comments. Sometimes Unc might come up on it, but they know when Unc get ready to speak, Unc will share a personal experience about it. And I have to make it clear to them. I'm coming from a level of personal experience, not from what generalizing and talking about somebody else to fit the prompt. No, well, Tony, I got you with that. We that got money got to stop taking our money from the hood. We blacks and take our money and put it in the suburbs. How we going to build? Well, see, that's the whole point, Tony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Build our communities if we spending our I got you in other areas. Well, Tony, that's the whole point of rehabbing and revitalizing houses in the city. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about like, and I might just start doing it just to grow my financial status more as well too, Tony. Be honest. I want blocks, right? Blocks, blocks, blocks. That's what God laid on my spirit, Tony. So it's rebuilding back up in that black community is what we talking about, Tony. So not just, and with the stores too, because like you said, Tony, the more you build up in the black, and I'm gonna say your poorest communities, those are your black Wall Streets. A lot of people don't see that. I'm over here near Morgan, Tony. It's more black people over here than white, but this is not your inner city. This is more like your city, but it's not the inner. You get me? This is your more conservative area. Then the mall we got right here. Now, to be honest with you, I had to go get a money order. It's only one spot over here that sells money orders. I mean, they have money orders, and that's the bank. And in order for me to get a money order, I had to become one of their members. Bye. So I went from, I'm here near Cold Spring. I had a doctor's appointment at Good Shepherd, right? So I went up to the doctor's. From there, I walked up the Northern Parkway, where I used to live at in Parkville, to go get me a money order from the post office. Right? So my daughter called me, Tony. All right, Cal. Oh, Calvin, I know who you is. Stop playing. I just realized it. You know me and what's your name talking at the Salvation Army. Remember the guy you told me go talk to? I just realized who you was, Calvin. I'm sorry, bro. Wow. I think we got a barbershop. No. Tony, I think we got a CVS right there on Pennsylvania North, but they might have closed it now. They might have closed it. And we do have Tony said barbershops. Tony, we do have barbershop. My son don't go to none in the city. Where would you Where was your funeral director at, Calvin? Which one? Cause you know it's another guy that comes on here. He's Calvin too, and he's somebody that I grew up with from Clifton, but he works for the city. And he was telling me about, they call him the governor, right? Ty. They call him the governor, and he's over there with the Salvation Army, right there where Upton's is at. Where Dad, Tony, you got me going in my old brain. I mean Calvin. I get ready to say, look, 9 times out of 10, we probably know each other. We probably know each other. Now, 1100 East North Avenue, you know who I'm thinking about, right? The school board, or you went to Wahlberg. Never mind, I got it, Calvin. Then you said Wabash. I got it, Calvin. March Funeral Home. All right. All right, I got you. You really got me thinking now, Tony. I mean, Calvin, I'm sorry. You really got me thinking, whoa. March Funeral Home go way back. Oh, you left in 2009. Ooh. March Funeral Home go way back. Way back. And guess what, Tony? You said Wabash. I know. And who's that son? It's a family member that has a funeral home right there off of Hilton, I think. Hilton and Federal Avenue, Frederick Avenue. Is it Frederick? That sits right up in that corner. Gary Marsh. I probably seen you around. Yep. I know you know, Calvin. They done a lot. They do a lot of work in Baltimore City. I'm gonna put it like that. They have put a lot back into Baltimore City. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't know if it was March Funeral Home, Calvin, but one of them put out a statement because our people was just unaliving each other like crazy. They unaliving each other like crazy. So unaliving each other like that, they're making a lot of these funeral homes richer. Are they passed? Because I see you say word. Did they pass? Because I'm 63 and I know. Okay, thanks. Okay. Because I know you know Derek. Derek, he has a funeral home up there on Park Heights. I'm trying to think his last name, but I know it's Derek something funeral home. Dang, I can't think of his last name. But I know you probably know him. You probably know him too. Because he's been doing it for a long time too now. He's not as old as me. I think he's in his 50s. But he's not as old as me though. Dang, bro, you took me back. God dang. You done took this thing back, the Browns and all of them. Derrick Jones. Yeah. I could only think of the Derrick. But yeah, Derrick Jones. Derrick Jones. Now, I haven't seen him in years. I haven't seen him in years, Calvin. I'm gonna tell you, and Tony, I'm reading what you put there too, right? But look, I was up there with him one time. This lady passed away, right? I watched the love, the tenderness he showed to that body. I used to sponsor him. That's one. I haven't seen him in years, but I watched him like do what he had to do with the body and how he soothed the body and everything. I was like, oh my God. I was just amazed at some of the work that y'all do. Wow. I was honored to see it because I know a lot of people, they won't let you come in and see certain things. I already know that. But yeah, Calvin, I'm kind of laughing because there's some other stuff I'm trying to watch from Sam, right? But that's what happened when you grew up in Baltimore City. Yep. Because thank you for saying that, Calvin, because you know what? I was getting ready to sign up with March. Now, I'm an ordained deacon, so I already know when you meet the families and everything, what we have to do with them, right? So I was going to sign up with them. I don't know what made me not to. I don't know what it was, but I was looking at it, signing up, to become you was a director, but to become one of the ones that go pick up the family and everything. Right. What did Calvin said? Calvin said it's not for everyone. Hey, Calvin, that's no lie. That's no lie. And I'm gonna tell you this, Calvin, since you said that, right? And what you said, Jesse hilarious too. Oh, Tony. Wait a minute. I was reading. Hey, wait a minute, Calvin. He was just talking about Jesse hilarious too. She's on the Breakfast Club and she's from Baltimore and don't invest in Baltimore either. Our own people is the problem. I was laughing at Tony because you know what? I said that shit the other day. Excuse me, Calvin. I said that the other day. I said not being smart and Calvin, to be honest with you, it's a lot of times, like Calvin said, this is not for everybody. And personally, I run into a lot of this. And I'm gonna show you where I'm at with that, Calvin and Tony. Because of me being a community activist or community organizer, say like if something happened in the community, somebody, been taken down. Normally, if I show up, I'll get out my car or my truck. I'll go look for the person in the white shirt. Normally, he's either the commander, he's either the chief, he's either lieutenant, and I'm trying to see do the sergeants wear white shirts. But normally, it's somebody like that I know with the bars on. I can go and talk to them. And what I do, I tell them who I am, Steve Copeland from Communities United. I let them know I'm a community activist, what I do, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of times when I do that and somebody been taken out, they share as much information with me as they can. Because I know certain things they're not supposed to, I already know that. But they will share as much with me as they can. So Calvin, you right. This ain't for everybody. And I'm gonna tell you what, I walked up on a young man who was pew right, and his eyes was out. His eye was out. I was so glad, Calvin and Tony. By the time that man's mother came up the street, he was gone. That was something. I thank God to this day she did not see her son like that. So like Calvin said, right? Sometimes with certain things that you do, like watching our people being unalive, and for somebody like me that will pop up, I can mention a lot of stuff, Tony, that happened in Baltimore City, right? Mario from Baltimore, where he at? Tony, stop. Reason why I said that, Tony, because I'm trying to find all them suckers. Monique, I'm trying to find them suckers. I'm trying to find them. Look. I'm laughing at Tony too, Calvin. I'm laughing with Tony writing because look, a lot of them that left Baltimore City to become famous like that, right? And got millions and won't have a problem investing back. I'm trying to reach out to them too. I'm like, give me some of that money. Tony, I ain't playing. Tony said, oh, what's up, Will? How you doing, buddy? And Merry Christmas and happy belated Thanksgiving. I hope you feeling better, bro. But Tony got me. Look, Tony got me. Tony. And look, Calvin, I've been trying to reach out to, let me make sure I say it right, because I get Under Armour and Amazon mixed up. I've been trying to reach out to Kevin Plank at Under Armour too. Look, I need some of that money. Kevin Plank put all that money down in Peninsula, and that's a desert town. He lost a lot. Hey, Calvin, I know. Bob Wallace. I know you probably heard of Bob Wallace, right? He's a billionaire. He's a black billionaire. I've been trying to reach him too. His cousin gave me his phone number, right? She said, I'm going to tell you right now, Steve, and you better not say nothing smart, Tony. She said, I'm going to tell you right now, Steve. She gave me his number. Bob Wallace, he ran for mayor, Calvin. And she said he probably won't give you no money to invest back, but he will introduce you to people that will. I said, okay, that's not a problem. Tony, don't say nothing smart. Stop! Dru Hill, you know what? I met them too, Tony. The heavyset black one, his my ex-wife, my first wife, her sister. What was Tony to him? They was family, right? The heavyset black guy that sung with Dru Hill was up there singing, right? And I reached over to my daughter. I said, I can sing better than that. And my daughter told me who he was. She said, Dad, that's the guy from Dru Hill. His cousin. I mean, he was hitting it, Tony. You already know, right? He was hitting it. And I was picking with my daughter, right? You say you remember Dru Hill too. At the fun spot. I'm trying to think of this other guy, Calvin, from Baltimore City that was with, I don't know if he was with Dru Hill too. And his father was at our church, but he was a gospel singer. but I'm trying to see if this one of them too. But he lived around near Madison Street, Tony. I mean, I'm Calvin. I don't know, Calvin. I'm 63. So I'm figuring you what, probably around there somewhere. And then you said you was a director over at Marches back in 2009. I'm at the Church of the Redeemed, Bishop Jerome Stokes. And I know you heard of them. Don't even try. CRL Ministry. All right. Because you know my pastor deal with all of them. What, Walter Reed? Did I say his name right? Reed. Bethel Temple, all of them. All the big ones. I know you probably is. Me too. What's his name? I don't know if he's still the I'm trying to think. He's the I know you probably is. Reed. Yup. Him and my pastor, because my pastor 80, but Reed is not. I don't know. Reed. I know Reed well in his 70s, because I'm 63. Like I said. But I know he's not. Bishop is 80. And I'm gonna tell you another one too, man. I know you familiar with Curlin Showell, Bishop Showell, Oscar Brown. And see, in this process, I met Marvin Sapp. I was gonna say Martin Sapp. I met Marvin Sapp. I met God dang it, Fred Hammond. Fred Hammond and Marvin Sapp, man, I love their music because it's like they men. And to me, their music is like love songs. Okay. Hey, Calvin. Calvin, it's a lot of them creepy, bro. I try not to judge them. I really do, right? Because I'm an ordained deacon, right? And be honest with you, I thank God I've been there a day at a time. I was married too, but I've been there a day at a time, and I've not messed with nobody in that church. Now I'm single. I've been away from my wife now for 11 years, right? We're ex now, but I don't, Calvin, I don't want to be one of those brothers. I probably know who you talking about. He sounded like he was real religious. Didn't I say, Calvin? I'm not trying to judge. Did he? I'm gonna tell you somebody else. I don't know if he's still living or not. Calvin, but he was a funeral director too. But he was with. Am I saying it right? Leroy and died. Leroy and died down there off of Mount Street. His name was Vaughn. All right. His name was Vaughn. And I'm trying to think his last name, but he used to work with them. So, but you know, that was years. That was years, Tony. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm calling you Tony and Tony over here. But his name was Vaughn, but I'm trying to and he was part of, I think he was a director as well. But now, mind you, I might have when I was younger, but I've never, and I grew up around in that area of Calvin. I've never been inside Leroy died, and I could be wrong as a child or something because I'm looking at my grandfather. No, when my grandfather passed away, that was North Avenue. But I have never been inside Leroy died, but I done passed them about 1,000,000 times. I don't even know if they still open, Tony. I don't know if they still open. No. Wait a minute. Is you talking about the little short slim? I'm trying to think because it was Vaughn Green, Leroy died, right? But I'm trying to think. Oh God. But I'm trying to. Now you got me wondering, is that the one name I was trying to mention? Because we was working at Centennial One. All right, we was working at Centennial One, and I know he did do some work with them, and he lived in Turner Station. He lived in Turner Station. That name, when you said Vaughn Green, you know it took me back to Leroy and Die. But if he did, I'm happy for him, man, because you know he was into that, but he was doing something else too. No, the name sounds very, very familiar. Cause we had worked together, right? Now this was back in the 90s. And he was working with Leroy Dodd in them. So I don't know if he was a funeral director or in the apprenticeship program, like you said. Yeah. Yeah, but I know he lived in Turner Station. Now, mind you, I think he was in his 50s back then. Because I think I was like 30 something. And I think he was around in his 50s. So he might got me by at least maybe 15, 20 years. And it might be Vaughn Green. I know he was out of Turner Station. I haven't seen him in God knows when too. Hey, Tony. Tony, stop. Because you know what? I was thinking about Pastor Jamal Bryant today. Pastor Jamal Bryant tried, and you all ran him out. No. We didn't run him out. We didn't run him out. I was thinking about Jamal Bryant today. I follows him too. God ran him away, and he cared about Baltimore City a lot. That was if you seen that interview, that was why would you say Booty Green? That was yeah, it sounded like it, Calvin. What was the guy? Gangster, he was from Gangster 300. The guy that jumped at Jamal Bryant. And I told Jamal Bryant when I seen him, I said, stop traveling the city by yourself. Because he's more like on that level of where my pastor's at, right? And they have armor bearers. So people that's on a circuit like that, you can't travel into the hood like that by yourself. So when I seen him one day down at City Hall, I pulled him to the side and I told him, I said, don't you ever let me see you walking by yourself again. Because that day that I'm getting ready to call him Booty, but that day that guy came for him, that was a little bit after the Freddie Gray thing. The guy came at him, but now the reason why he went to to that ministry is a lot bigger than his ministry here. It's a lot bigger. Get it? Right? So what I was thinking about Jamal Bryant when I was coming back home, and I said one thing about Jamal Bryant, right? He had no problem World Life Ministry. I might do John. I might do. It's a lot of them that I know that we've been around because of, you know, when you have mega churches that tends to deal with other mega churches, you know. So I met throughout my years, 24 years into the ministry, right? I'm gonna put it like that. At the Church of Redeemed, I met a lot of people. Like I said, Marvin Sapp, CeCe Winan, and I'm just talking about people in the ministry, right? Our church is a non-denomination, So I'm gonna tell you this too. I'm so proud of Dante Hickman. Dante Hickman came from under Bishop. I'm so proud of the work he's doing in Baltimore City. I'm so proud of him, man. And you know our governor in Baltimore City go to Dante Hickman Church. So because the goal was for me to go meet him. But look, Tony, I was thinking about Jamal Bryant, right, today. And I'm just proud of him because one thing I love about him, no matter how this man might screw up, you get me? He might F up. He ain't got no problem talking about his mistake. And a lot of people used to say, oh, he need to sit down. He need to stop doing this. He need to stop doing that. I said, no, he don't. They said, why? I said, because the Holy Spirit didn't tell him. See, when you've been called to the ministry, right? And I'm going back to we fall down, but we get up. Donnie McClurkin came to our church too. Great sense of humor. And I'm going to tell you this, Tony, before just to think about it, Eddie Long used to come to our church too. And the first time he came to our church, I heard some people say that blank pastor here, right? You know what they called him, right, Calvin? And you know, during this time, Eddie Long was a big built. I mean, he was built like a brick. Now, I can say this because I had talked about it before. Most people that you find practicing those type of behaviors, something happened to them as a child. Even though God called them to the ministry, he didn't let it go. He clinged on to it, right? So now, can you imagine you out there talking one way, but you're living the opposite? No, it was for be honest, it was for Jamal Bryant to go to dang it, the name of his ministry is right on my tongue. It was for Jamal Bryant to go there. What I love about Jamal Bryant, he's a teacher. It's like how he break it down. And what I started understanding about Jamal Bryant, right? Because when I was listening to mainly not just Jamal Bryant, but I'm thinking of the little short one. God dang it, his name will come to mind. Back in the days, I used to wear baggy clothes, big baggy clothes and stuff, right? So when I used to listen to what's the other you said Jamal went to Atlanta. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of the church, the ministry. The ministry is not, it's like right, it's like on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it's not, what is New Birth? New Birth? Now, Tony, keep in mind, the church that he built here in Baltimore City, you know, that's a big church too. That's a mega church within itself. But he went to a bigger church. You get me? They requested for him to come. Believe me, they requested, and I'm gonna tell you, they paying him a lot of money. Because you know pastors get paid, right? They get a salary. So they paying him a lot of money. They paid him a lot to come to that church. To New Birth, right. I see it now, Tony. They now, anytime you have pastors now, the pastors, that none of them own the churches. The churches belongs to the community. So believe me, they offered him a lot of money for him to leave Baltimore City and come there to New Birth. Yeah, he could have, but now mind you, Because I'm looking at that too, Tony. Even though he left Baltimore City, you know he still have his hands in Empowerment Temple. They just put another pastor, leader in his place. Because him and the congregation actually built that site, that church there. His father, I was looking at something the other day. So he's with Bethel Temple, Calvin. Jamal Bryant's father is down there with Thomas. Wait a minute, Thomas. Then we got Reed. You mentioned he had mentioned Reed. We got Reed at Bethel Temple, and if I'm not mistaken, that's where Jamal Bryant father is at too. Calvin, I don't know where you went. I ain't see you say nothing, but we got him down there, and Sheila Dixon. I don't know if she's still a member of Bethel. I'm not sure. Then you have, Bishop Walter Thomas. Thanks, Tony. You know too damn much to be in DC. Stop. You know too damn much to be in DC. Thank you. Yeah, because him and my pastor, all of them, they associate with each other. Tony, your ass in DC, you know more about Baltimore City than me. God dang. Mainly when we start talking about Bree Jones, I'm like, God dang. But that just go to show you, Tony, just how, and I'm looking at it, man, over the 33 years of my life, almost, 32, how I've been involved, like, in the community, in the church thing, politics. And what I try not to do, Tony, you said Frank, Frank Reed. It's Reed that's at Bethel. But I think he moved I think they built another church in the county somewhere. And I think he went to the other church, Tony. See, I don't know where Calvin disappeared to. I don't see him putting nothing else up there. But Reed, Frank Reed, and Jamal Farber is with Frank Reed, but I think he's on McCullough Street? You said Ray. No, it's Frank Reed. Or this another pastor you talking about? Is Frank Ray somewhere else? Because I think the pastor at Bethel, right? Where Jamal Bryant Farber is at, if I'm not mistaken. Because right now, Thomas, right, and Frank Reed. I'm seeing you saying Ray, but those two I'm kind of getting twisted a little bit. Because if I'm not mistaken, Thomas is the one up off of where he at now? He's up there near Wabash. He up there in Wabash. And Reed, if I'm not mistaken, because that's an older building, right? That building is historic, but I think they probably built a bigger church somewhere else. You keep saying Frank Reed. I don't know. I mean Frank Ray. I'm thinking Reed. I probably gotta look that name up. Because when you say Frank Ray, it's just taking me to Reed with Bethel. And you're right. That's Bethel itself is a big church itself. But what they did, if I'm not mistaken, they built another campus. I'm gonna say campus somewhere. Because 9 times out of 10, when they leave from one spot, they outgrew that spot. And they'll open up another bigger building somewhere. Because that's what my pastor did throughout the years. But I'm gonna look that name up, Tony, because you saying Frank Ray. And I'm gonna just look it up, Pastor Frank Ray, because I'm thinking Reed. Uh-oh, this might get ready to cut off, Tony. It's dying down. Pastor Hathaway. It's another pastor that came from a church on, you got McCullough, then you got Drew Hill. It's another pastor. He retired from that though, from his church, but he's still he's doing a lot of great work in Baltimore City. He's doing a lot of work too. So let me see, can I flip this over to my phone? Because this gonna click off in a minute. I'm gonna see if it let me take it up over here. Because you got me enjoying this conversation, Tony. And now my goddamn other phone about to go dead. I've been on here too goddamn long. I need to get ready to get off. Hey Tony, I'm gonna go ahead. Thanks, bro.